Namaste everyone. Today's topic on Back to Earth is Permaculture Principles as described by David Holmgren. First principle, observe and interact. All the observations around us can teach us valuable life lessons. Observe, don't just see. Record your observations and learn from them. We need to observe not just our garden, but also our activities and life. We are imitating nature in permaculture, but blind imitation and beliefs will do harm than good. We need someone always in front of us so that we can imitate, which will end at some point of time. You are the best person who knows your life, your land. Only through skillful observation can we adjust our activities to benefit ourselves. We can imitate David Holmgren or Masanobu Fukuoka to an extent, but always remember that in your life, in your garden, you are the Holmgren and you are the Fukuoka. Observation is integral to any permaculture design. I feel that the next principles are children of the first one, whenever I think about them. We need to observe the life around us in the soil and take decisions accordingly. Never jump to conclusions. Listen to your heart. Sometimes it is like Jack Sparrow's compass, leads to you where your heart is. Utilize the raw materials around you. Use the elements of nature in your favor. Learn from the nature, experiment, and don't be afraid. You will learn new lessons. The feedback will help a lot in taking the next step. Remember to think before taking the next step. Will it favor the earth and the people around you? If it does harm to any of the ethics of permaculture, leave it there and take the next best option. If nothing else is available, ask the brotherhood. Even I'm your brother. Feel free to ask me. I would be glad to help, but my observations have to be incorporated into your desired area. Respect the feedback your garden gives back and changes accordingly. Our ancestors developed their farming methods depending on their observations of nature and life over thousands of years, which gives more emphasis to the first principle of observation and interact. Catch and store energy. Permaculture looks at adopting sustainable methods, be it a garden, a community, or in our homes. Energy is not only solar, water, and wind energies, it also are people and grazing animals and how they behave in the garden, the paths cut by grazing cattle, and the children gathering around the mango tree. These kits have the power to create zones which can cater different types of flora and fauna. Due to the use of fossil fuels, our generation witnessed a boom in technological advancements. But it is a non-renewable pit of fire fueling our needs today. Little by little, we need to change our ways to adopt use of energy around us. We can harvest rainwater and sunlight for a start. Humans and animals possess energy to change the world they live in. We can tap in on these energies as well. Land use can be maximized by creating food forests. Digging rainwater holes to recharge your groundwater can be of benefit. We have to use the energies available to us to our benefit and the society's benefit. Always remember, every drop of water is precious. It has 1,000 names written on it. Obtain a yield. Every farm, garden, or activity must have a yield. This yield will inspire the doer to sustain the activity and grow. But the wellness of mind and body is much a satisfying yield than money in the long term. Not only fruits and vegetables, even grass and worms can also be considered a yield if used wisely to make liquid manures and feed the worms to your fishes. Fruits and vegetables feed us while other materials feed the soil and its children. Apply self-regulation and feedback. After seeing this video, you might feel an urge to start up a garden and germinate 1,000 seeds. But hold on. Start with 10 seeds, let the plants grow, observe and learn. Plant 50 seeds, then make it to 100 and then 200 and learn and grow along with your garden. Self-regulation needs to be applied in our thoughts and activities as well. Never should we make fun of others who might not enjoy the same success that you have gained. We should be able to help each other and share the knowledge we have gained. Should always observe the effects of our activities, take feedback of those activities and record it. Learn from the mistakes and be humble. In a garden, there is no place for ego. Only nature resides, the all-loving mother. She will forgive and keep you close to her bosom. Use and value renewables. We need to use the resources around us wisely. Only then we can live a sustainable life. Glycidia trees can be grown to produce soil amendments. Bamboo can be grown to use as wood substitute. A pond can be used to collect water. If you live in an apartment, you can start a balcony garden, turn kitchen waste into compost, and collect rainwater. You can also prepare a fish amino, which is very easy to do as well. Imagine, and the possibilities are endless. If our garden tools are not plastic, they can also become a soil amendment after its use. Leaf cuttings and grass clippings can be turned into mulch and fertilizers. Use biological solutions and renewable ones so that we can make our life more sustainable. Produce no waste. Waste is an item which does not hold any value or use to a system. Be wise and purchase. Don't buy anything that is of a single use. These items are the ones which turn into waste. Either recycle or upcycle. We need to make use of the things around us, which will eventually lead into a minimal or zero waste lifestyle and garden. As the saying goes, one man's waste is another man's treasure. The sawdust is a waste byproduct for the timber mill owners, but for us, it can be used as a fuel and as a compost. Be creative. Our system should not have waste as well. Any kitchen scraps can be composted or fed to your chicken. Wood and plant cuttings, leaves, etc. can be turned into hugelkultur beds. Old clothes can be used as mulch. Plastic bottles can be reused to grow ornamental plants as well as fishes. Design from patterns to details. Patterns is an ever-changing story. The more you know, the more it changes, the more it unveils itself. Geometry is an integral part of the universe itself, just like the golden ratio and the Fibonacci number. Patterns can be observed in nature, life, as well as our gardens. We should also look at biological patterns in our garden, the flow of water, sunlit areas, how water accumulates, how all of this changes as per season. Types of birds, ants, everything that is in interaction with your garden have a pattern, and it all shapes the garden we all love. There are patterns of how chicken roam in the garden and how the petals of flowers are arranged, the way trees bend towards light, the way plants grow as per the moving sun. All these can be observed and learned. We can start with rainwater flow and change of sun's path with seasons, which are very easy to track. Integrate, don't segregate. Try to include all types of plants in your garden and life. Never segregate. Even plants that we consider weeds have medicinal effects. Try companion plants. There are plants that benefit others. Find out what plants can benefit other plants. There are beneficial organisms as well which live in symbiosis. Flowering plants attract wasps who destroy pests. Vines, tubers, creepers, shrubs all can coexist and benefit each other and the soil. This can improve pest control too. Some plants have to be sacrificed as well so that the pests can feed on them and thereby support organisms which in turn feed on the pest itself, just like birds and wasps. Use small and slow solutions. Do not rush. Before you start with a 4-acre farm, learn the basics. Taking a financial debt will be always a burden of your life if you plan to start big and risk it big. Start small and develop your skills along with the area you farm. Before adding more features, get the hang of it. Our primary aim when we start needs to be gaining knowledge and not money. Money is a long-term opportunity. Slowly start implementing minor changes in your ways in life and garden. There is no right or wrong in nature. Nature accepts changes and buffers it with results in varying degrees. To gain some quick momentum, we can plant hybrid vegetables and grafted trees along with heirloom seeds and fruit trees from seed. Once the hybrid and grafted varieties die off, our native and heirloom varieties will be able to support us. They might be slow, but they will be there for the long run. Use and value diversity. Plants in different habitats are able to produce different kinds of yields. We must include all types of plants and animals in our garden to get the richness and resilience of diversity. When there is diversity, we will be able to produce even in the harshest of climatic conditions. It is always better to aim for our local market than growing a supermarket kind of produce. We must start self-sufficiency from home and then scale it up so that we can benefit our community. Use edges and value the marginal. The children in the mango orchard, as I told earlier, will create a path and can separate the land into zones. Each zone will have diverse flora and fauna and will be rich in them as well. Like the union of two circles resulting in three areas, just like a Venn diagram represents. The plants in water will be different from those on the edge and those on the marshy land, and the same will be with the animals. Such zones and edges can be created in our garden as well as life when we think and act wisely. Creatively use and respond to change. Act wisely and with much thought. Respond. Never react. Reaction in anger or emotions can result in losses which sometimes can upset the balance of our life and garden. Changes are inevitable in nature. Always try to see the positives. Turn them into your benefits. Have an aspect in life and can share it with your loved ones as well. Remember, our actions will affect our family and the world around us. So be kind always. It is time to change the soil-destroying agriculture and adapt a sustainable one. You are the change that the world needs. Let us do it. Let us create a revolution to feed our young ones clean food, to live lives without hatred. Time for us to create a food revolution for a beautiful nature and a beautiful future. Thank you.